Formation flying is the grouping of aircraft in a flight pattern for a specific purpose. A formation is formed when two or more aircraft fly a proper position relative to each other and are under the command of a designated aviator. The primary purpose of flight formation is control. In addition, formation flight facilitates discipline, maneuverability, flexibility, reaction time to contingencies, and provides for rapid development of a situation, either offensively or defensively. During this presentation of tactical formation flying, we will discuss the definition of terms, types of formations, formation selection, the 45-degree angle, the 3-foot step-up, and possible hazardous situations. Close adherence to the information given to you during this presentation will enable you to complete your mission successfully. Before you can fly safely in any formation, you will have to learn the techniques of maintaining your position within the flight. With the exception of the trail formation, each aircraft will always fly a 45-degree angle off the aircraft he is to maintain position on. In aligning your aircraft to another aircraft, the 45-degree angle is best obtained by positioning your aircraft so that you can visually align the far front cross tube and the nearest rear cross tube at the point where the cross tube joins the skids. As soon as the flight is formed, a 3-foot vertical step-up will be established and maintained. This can best be accomplished by positioning your aircraft so that the swash plate assembly of the aircraft you are to hold on is aligned with the horizon. All aircraft within the flight will maintain an interval between helicopters of 2 rotor disc separation, which is measured between the tip path planes. As an aviator, you will fly numerous formations. However, for the purpose of tactical training, this presentation will cover only 6 formations. Let's start with the most simple, the V formation. In forming the V, we have a wingman to the left and right of the leader. Both wingmen hold a position 45 degrees astern of the leader while maintaining a horizontal distance between helicopters of 2 rotor discs and a vertical step-up separation of 3 feet. There are 2 types of staggered trail formations, staggered trail left and staggered trail right. In the staggered trail left, number 2 aircraft is 45 degrees astern and to the left of the lead aircraft. Number 3 is directly behind the lead, 45 degrees astern and to the right of number 2, with number 4 and number 5 alternating left and right. Each aircraft maintains a 2 rotor disc separation between helicopters and a 3-foot vertical step-up on their respective aircraft. To form a staggered trail right formation, aircraft number 2 would align to the right of the lead aircraft, with the remaining aircraft alternating left and right. This formation is not limited to any prescribed number of aircraft. Its size is dictated by the mission requirement. The aviator must utilize his peripheral vision to the maximum while concentrating on his lead aircraft, especially in formations requiring a relative position to more than one aircraft. For example, in the diamond formation, aircrafts 1 through 3 fly the standard V, and number 4 flies the slot. The slot is directly behind the lead and 45 degrees astern of both lead and wingman. Each aircraft will maintain 2 rotor diameters between aircraft, and number 4 will fly a 3-foot vertical step-up separation on number 3. The trail formation is the only formation which does not involve utilization of the 45-degree angle. In the trail formation, the number 2 aircraft takes a position 2 aircraft lengths directly behind the lead aircraft and flies a 3-foot vertical step-up on the lead. The 3-foot step-up is obtained by placing the 90-degree gearbox of the aircraft directly in front of yours on the swash plate. Each trailing helicopter holds the same relative position on the aircraft immediately to its front. This formation is not limited to a prescribed number of aircraft. There are 2 types of echelon formations, left echelon and right echelon. In forming a left echelon, the number 2 aircraft positions 45 degrees astern and to the left of the lead. The number 3 aircraft holds 45 degrees astern and to the left of number 2. Each aircraft maintains a 2 rotor disc diameter separation and a 3-foot vertical step-up on their appropriate aircraft. To make this a right echelon, number 2 and number 3 would align 45 degrees astern and to the right of the lead. The last formation we'll discuss is the tactical heavy formation. This formation can be formed either left or right and is composed of 2 helicopter sections. In a tactical heavy left, the flight leader and his wingman form the first section, with the wing flying 45 degrees astern and to the right of the leader. The second section is composed of number 3 and number 4, 45 degrees astern and to the left of the leader. Number 2 and number 3 fly a 3-foot vertical step-up on the lead, while number 4 flies a 3-foot step-up on number 3. Spacing between sections must be sufficient to permit the wingman of the flight leader to move from or to either echelon position. To form a tactical heavy right formation, the flight leader's wingman would fly to the left of the leader and the second section to the right of the lead. The formation leaders are responsible for maintaining a smooth, level flight and correct formation position at all times. To ensure accomplishing the mission of the lead aircraft, a complete pre-mission briefing is necessary and should include all coordination instructions available. Since there are a variety of formations, the primary importance of formation flight techniques is to select the best formation for the mission. There are several important factors in determining the best formation. They are: objective of the mission, simplicity to permit easy control and facilitate discipline, flexibility to meet different situations and ability to quickly close up vacancies, mutual support and maximum protection, maneuverability for evasion tactics. A formation takeoff is 2 or more aircraft leaving the ground at the same time and then maintaining a pre-designated relative position within that formation.
Outlaw lead, this is outlaw trail, your flight's formed. Outlaw trail, this is outlaw lead, roger. Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead, pitch pull will be in 10.
All aircraft should break ground simultaneously after receiving a prearranged radio call from the formation leader. During a formation takeoff, the leading element must accelerate slightly faster than a normal takeoff. This allows the following elements to gain translational lift. Rotor wash is an important factor to be considered in formation takeoffs. During takeoff, this unstable air may be used to your advantage to assist the aircraft in reaching effective translational lift. This may be accomplished by applying forward cyclic. If forward cyclic is not applied, extra power will be required to fly through the unstable air. An airspeed over altitude takeoff should be made until the flight has established a definite airspeed and rate of climb. Another important function of the lead aircraft in the formation is to maintain a smooth flight during a turn. All turns initiated by the lead aircraft should be at a constant rate and should not exceed a standard rate turn. The turn should begin shallow and slowly develop into a standard rate, remembering always to maintain the 45-degree angle and 2 rotor disc separation. A common error occurring in turns is the misjudgment of the degree of bank being used by the lead aircraft. During a turn, the inside wingman will have to decelerate slightly. While the outside wingman accelerates slightly to maintain relative position in the formation. When anticipating the degree of bank, caution must be observed to eliminate fixation. Should it become necessary to exceed a standard rate of turn, it can best be accomplished by slowly continuing to increase the degree of bank until the desired turn is established. When flying in a trail formation, always take caution to retain the required 2 helicopter length separation. A misjudging of this requirement usually results from an aircraft flying too close to the lead aircraft, and deceleration may be necessary. Often in correcting this situation, an excessive amount of aircraft cyclic is applied, causing an abrupt deceleration. This abrupt deceleration multiplies as each trailing aircraft corrects for the change. The end result may place the trail aircraft in an excessively nose-high attitude and quite often causes him to leave the formation. A formation landing is a landing during which all elements of a formation touch down at the same time while maintaining their relative position within the formation. It is the responsibility of the formation leader to ensure that sufficient obstacle clearance and landing space is provided for all aircraft in the formation. The lead element must maintain straight and level flight until the correct approach angle is intercepted, avoiding an excessive steep or shallow approach angle. Those aircraft not touching down simultaneously will find rotor wash a problem. This unstable air usually causes the aircraft to yaw. It is extremely important that an aviator caught in this turbulent rotor wash does not overcorrect, but should perform smooth, controlled movements and land his aircraft as soon as possible. A formation change en route is a change in the formation pattern accomplished while airborne. For training purposes with inexperienced aviators, all formation changes are made through trail formation. Prior to executing any formation changes, the flight leader will ensure that elements of his formation understand the next formation and ask for an acknowledgement.
Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead. Next formation will be trail. Acknowledge. Outlaw 1-2, roger. Outlaw 1-3, roger. Outlaw 1-4, roger. Outlaw trail, roger.
Upon receiving an acknowledgement from all elements, he will then give the command to execute the next formation.
Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead. Execute trail formation.
It is the responsibility of the trail aircraft to inform the flight leader when his aircraft is in the new correct formation.
Outlaw lead, outlaw trail, trail formation. Outlaw trail, this is outlaw lead, roger.
When approaching an LZ too small for a formation landing, and it is necessary to break up the formation and land a single aircraft, the flight leader, to ensure safety, should direct the formation into an echelon formation before breaking up into single aircraft.
Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead. Next formation will be echelon right, acknowledge. Outlaw 1-2, roger. Outlaw 1-3, roger. Outlaw 1-4, roger. Outlaw trail, roger. Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead. Execute echelon right.
Once the formation has changed to echelon, the flight leader will designate the number of seconds between each break.
Outlaw lead, outlaw trail, your flight's okay, echelon right. Outlaw trail, this is outlaw lead, roger. Outlaw lead will be breaking left, calling your intervals at 10 seconds, over. Outlaw 1-2, roger. Outlaw 1-3, roger. Outlaw 1-4, roger. Outlaw trail, roger. Outlaw flight, outlaw lead's breaking left.
The leader will turn 90 degrees away from his wingman and proceed to the LZ. After the designated break time has lapsed, the wingman will state his call sign and break in the same direction. The remainder of the formation will continue the same procedure until all have landed. The functions of the flight leader in formation rendezvous and join-up are to approach the rendezvous point at a pre-planned time and altitude. Upon reaching the point of rendezvous, the flight leader will enter an orbit in the pre-planned direction using a standard rate of turn and an airspeed of 60 knots. The joining members of the flight will approach the lead aircraft by crossing his orbit at 70 to 80 knots and at the same altitude. As final join-up is completed, airspeed will be reduced and heading varied so as to close into position at 60 knots and 45 degrees astern of the lead aircraft. Planning and judgment must be exercised at all times to ensure that a safe rate of closure is maintained and the common error of overrunning is avoided. If a formation is to break up into two aircraft elements, the flight leader usually calls for a staggered trail formation.
Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead. Next formation will be staggered trail right, acknowledge. Outlaw 1-2, roger. Outlaw trail, roger. Outlaw flight, this is outlaw lead. Execute staggered trail right.
After the formation has closed into a staggered trail, the flight leader will announce the time interval between elements and receive an acknowledgement. The first two aircraft will continue on course, and if load and flight conditions permit, they will increase airspeed by 10 knots. The second two aircraft will maintain their airspeed, while the remainder of the formation will decrease their airspeed in pairs until the desired separation is attained. If it becomes necessary to leave a formation, the flight leader should be notified immediately of your departure from the formation and the reason for leaving. The leader will immediately designate one or more aircraft to assist the departed member of the formation.
Outlaw lead, outlaw 1-2 is going down with an engine failure, over. This 610 lead, trail follow, downrender any assistance if necessary, and also call on the ground to assist status. Outlaw Trail, roger, going down with him.
Careful planning and judgment must be exercised before departing the formation, especially if the troubled aircraft is located in the center of the formation. The departing aircraft must descend and turn away from the formation. The aircraft assigned to assist the departing aircraft will maintain altitude in the area of the downed aircraft and make necessary radio communication. The possibility of such problems arising and the procedure to follow should be covered in the flight leader's pre-mission briefing. After the departure of a ship from the formation, the flight leader should rearrange the formation to fill the vacancy and continue with the mission. Vortices, or rotor wash, is one of the many hazardous situations that may occur while participating in formation flight and should be anticipated at all times, especially when two helicopters operate in close proximity, as here in the trail formation, causing the interacting patterns of airflow to alter the aerodynamic stability of each helicopter. Rotor wash occurs when an aircraft fails to maintain its 3-foot vertical separation and falls below the lead aircraft. To correct this situation, extra power must be applied to vertically fly the aircraft through the rotor wash. If the extra power is not available or the aircraft is too far below the lead, it may be flown sideways, laterally, then vertically to the proper altitude, and again sideways to regain the proper formation position. This sideways flight is very slight, and therefore it is not necessary to re-enter at the rear of the formation. During the formation flight, if an element loses all communication capabilities, it will remain with the formation to its next landing site. At the landing site, the crew members will give the visual signal, thumbs down. Since the formation leader will not be able to see the signal, it should be part of the pre-mission briefing to designate an aircrewman responsible for notifying the leader. This crewman is normally in the last aircraft of the formation. After making sure the lead aircraft has been informed of the lost communications, the aircraft will break formation and return to base. Remember the importance of maintaining your position during formation flying. An aircraft should fly on only one other aircraft in the formation. The constant vigilance required to detect any change in altitude, airspeed, or heading of the lead aircraft precludes watching other aircraft. If all aircraft fly correctly on their lead, there will be adequate distance and altitude separation for safe operation. The primary consideration of any aviator is the accomplishment of his assigned mission as safely and expeditiously as possible.